You didn't lose her suddenly, you lost her in the way things slowly changed. At some point, you stopped focusing on the relationship and started focusing on holding it together. Not all at once, just gradually. At first, it didn't feel like effort. It felt natural. You cared, so you showed up. You texted first. You checked in. You kept conversations going. Her responses made it feel easy. You didn't have to wonder where you stood. There were no mixed signals, no games, just clarity. So it didn't feel one-sided. It just felt like you were doing your part. Like this is what it means to care about someone. Like this is what it means to be consistent. And in the beginning, it worked. She returned your effort. Things felt smooth, easy, mutual. But over time, something started shifting. Not in a way that was obvious, nothing you could point at and say, this is where it changed. Just subtle, almost invisible. You noticed you were initiating more, starting more conversations, making more plans, putting in a little more energy each time. And still, you didn't question it, because you told yourself, it's not supposed to feel exciting all the time. Maybe this is what a real connection looks like. Maybe it's just maturing, or maybe she's just busy. Maybe she has a lot going on. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. So you kept going. You didn't pull back. You didn't test anything. You didn't play games. You just tried a little more. Because to you, that's what you do when something matters. You don't reduce effort, you increase it. You show up more. You try to understand more. You try to be better. But slowly, that effort started to feel different. Not heavier, not obvious, just more noticeable. You started becoming aware of it. The way you reached out first, almost every time. The way conversations depended on you starting them. And even when you did, the way you had to think before saying anything, when before, it just flowed. The way silence would just sit there until you broke it. And at first you ignored that too, because again, it didn't feel wrong enough, just slightly off, something you could explain away. But it kept happening, again and again and again. And over time, those small moments started adding up. You'd reach out and she'd respond, but she rarely started anything on her own. You'd make plans and she'd agree, but she didn't really suggest anything. You'd try to keep things alive and she'd go along with it. But it didn't feel like she was adding to it. It felt like she was just there, present, but not invested. And that's when it started settling in, not as frustration, but as awareness, a quiet realization. You were the one keeping things moving. You were the one maintaining momentum. And still, you didn't stop, because you believed in it. You believed that maybe, if you just stayed consistent, if you just gave it a little more time, things would balance out again. So you adjusted even more. You thought more before texting. You reread your messages. You tried to say the right things. You made sure nothing you did would push her away. You avoided saying too much. You avoided saying too little. You tried to get it just right. And without realizing it, you started changing. Not in a big, obvious way, just in small, quiet ways. You became more careful, more calculated, more aware of everything you said and did. Not because you wanted to be that way, but because you were trying to protect something. Something that felt fragile. Something that felt like it could slip away if you didn't hold it properly. And the strange part was, you didn't even realize how much you were adjusting. Until one day, you noticed something about yourself. You weren't relaxed anymore. You weren't just being you. You were managing. Managing conversations, managing timing, managing how you came across, managing how much you gave. And that's when it hit you. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just clearly. You weren't just trying anymore. You were compensating for something that wasn't being matched. And that's a different kind of effort, because it doesn't just take energy. It slowly takes pieces of you with it. The way you express yourself, the way you show up, the way you feel in the relationship. You become less spontaneous, less natural, less you. Everything starts revolving around maintaining it, holding it together, making sure it doesn't fall apart. Without realizing it, you were performing. And with every moment, your authenticity started fading. And one day, you feel it. Exhaustion. Not from her, but from constantly trying, constantly adjusting, constantly being the one who keeps things from falling apart. And for the first time, you stop. Not out of anger, not out of frustration, just clarity. You step back and you look at it for what it is. Not what it used to be, not what you hoped it could become, but what it is right now. And the truth becomes simple. Effort should not feel one-sided. Connection should not feel maintained by one person. You shouldn't have to carry something just to keep it alive. And for the first time, you don't feel the need to fix it. You don't feel the need to overthink it. You don't feel the need to try harder. Because you finally understand something. If it needs to be held together like this, then maybe it's already not what it should be. And that's when it shifts. Not in her, in you. You stop chasing. You stop overthinking. You stop trying to carry something alone. You stop forcing energy into something that isn't meeting you halfway, and instead, you choose something different. You stop trying to change what it is. You stop interfering. And most importantly, you choose yourself. Not loudly, not dramatically, not in a way that needs to be announced, just clearly and quietly. And that's the moment everything actually changes. Because for the first time, you're no longer trying to hold something together. You're finally letting it be what it really is.